Epic fury and lion's roar. U.S. and Israel launch major campaign against Iran. Morning of Feb 28, Israel announced the start of Operation Lion's Roar, coordinated with the U.S., targeting infrastructure described as nuclear or missile-related. Same day, U.S. President Donald Trump stated that the U.S. has commenced major combat operations as part of an operation the Pentagon named Epic Fury. The statement focuses on strikes against Iran's missile systems and naval capabilities, while warning of the risk of American casualties. Retaliation. Following the strikes, Iran launched missile attacks on Israel and U.S. bases across several Gulf countries. Missile interceptions are being recorded throughout the region. Regional impact. Kuwait, Qatar, the UAE, and Jordan reported intercepting Iranian missiles. Abu Dhabi reported one fatality. Aviation. Numerous airlines suspended flights. Certain countries and airports introduced restrictions or partially closed their airspace. Duration. According to U.S. officials, the operation is expected to last at least several days, not a one-off strike. Iran stance. Tehran claims its response will continue and views regional U.S. bases as legitimate targets. Risks. Escalation concerns are linked to retaliatory strike waves and potential threats to regional logistics and energy, including sensitivity to the Strait of Hormuz route. Statements and positions of key nations. Donald Trump announced major combat operations to destroy Iranian missile capabilities and the Navy, preventing nuclear or missile program development, acknowledged the possibility of U.S. casualties. Benjamin Netanyahu described Operation Lion's Roar's targets as nuclear and missile infrastructure, as well as besieged structures, emphasized coordination with the U.S. Iran, MFA, IRGC. The Foreign Ministry calls the strikes a violation of international law, promising a decisive response. The IRGC claims strikes on U.S. bases in the region and intends to continue operations. China publicly tightened consular warnings. Chinese media, including editorials, call for an immediate ceasefire and restraint. This reflects a media and diplomatic stance rather than a direct official statement from the top leader. Saudi Arabia condemned Iranian strikes on Gulf nations, UAE, Bahrain, Kuwait, etc., and warned of risks to regional stability. Kuwait officially condemned the Iranian attack as a violation of sovereignty. The military stated they handled missiles in Kuwaiti airspace. UAE. State media reported interceptions and confirmed one fatality in Abu Dhabi. Russia. The MFA called the U.S.-Israeli strikes an unprovoked armed aggression, warning of a massive crisis. Sergei Lavrov is in contact with his Iranian counterpart as Iran intends to approach the UN Security Council. Harsh political commentary also came from Dmitry Medvedev. Oil price reaction. Feb 27th, pre-strike, Brent closed near $72.48, plus 2.45%, WTI near $67.02, plus 2.78%, on news of failed negotiations and rising strike risks. Post-strike, the market priced in a risk premium. Reuters notes prices rose to approximately $73 per barrel, the highest since July. OPEC Plus is discussing a larger-than-expected production or export increase, specifically by Saudi Arabia and the UAE, as an insurance step against disruptions. Forecast. Barclays estimated Brent could approach $80 per barrel if real supply disruptions occur. Strategic scenarios. Scenario 1. Rapid goal achievement and regime change. Effect. Sharp weakening of the anti-Western axis, IRGC plus proxy network. Israel significantly strengthens its position. Fewer threats from Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, or Yemen. Gulf states. A pragmatic Tehran allows for reduced military threats. Post-regime risks. possible fragmentation of the IRGC, local insurgency cells, or short-term post-operational turbulence, terror, or sabotage. Global impact. Rapid stabilization compresses the oil risk premium. West versus China, Russia. West. Strategic win, demonstration of force, and a new Israel, Gulf, U.S. security architecture. U.S. resources can return to Ukraine and the Indo-Pacific sooner. China. Loses a key partner and cheap energy terms, but benefits from stable shipping routes. Russia. Loses its friendly rear and the ability to distract the West from Ukraine long-term. Scenario 2. Protracted war and ground component, months, years. Effect. The region turns into a multi-front system with regular missile exchanges and attacks on U.S. bases. Maritime. High risk to shipping, Hormuz or Red Sea, insurance and freight costs spike. Radicalization. Long-term conflict fuels anti-Western sentiment and radical recruitment. Global impact. Sustained high oil prices, depletion of U.S. and allied precision munitions and air defense stocks. West versus China, Russia. West. Strategic overstretch. Middle East plus Ukraine plus Indo-Pacific simultaneously. China. Strategic plus. The U.S. is distracted from the Indo-Pacific. China positions itself as a pragmatic mediator. Russia. Financial plus, oil revenue, and military political plus, distraction of Western diplomatic and military attention from Ukraine. Summary. Scenario 1 is a strategic win for the West. Scenario 2 structurally favors China by diluting Western concentration despite the economic risks. Thanks for watching. Stick around, there's more coming.